For centuries, they lay hidden beneath the earth, buried by time, forgotten by all but the whispers of the past. Then, in 2014, something extraordinary happened. An unexpected discovery in a quiet field in Sweden would change everything we thought we knew about the Vikings. The first shovel strike into the earth revealed nothing, but with each successive movement of dirt, the hidden treasure slowly began to emerge. What started as a small fragment soon became a full hoard: gold coins, silver artifacts, weapons that gleamed under the dim light of the archaeologists' flashlights. But this was no ordinary treasure. This wasn't just a plundered fortune buried in haste. The Vikings didn't bury their riches like common thieves. No, this was a carefully hidden collection of precious metals, rare finds, symbols carved with a purpose. The Vikings weren't simply raiders, they were strategists, thinkers, and masters of power. As the hoard was uncovered, the real story began to unfold. Each artifact, each coin held secrets we never imagined. And as the artifacts were revealed one by one, an ancient question lingered in the air. What did they fear? What was uncovered wasn't just a treasure trove of wealth. It was a snapshot of a lost world, an image of power, conflict, and belief. The Vikings had a reputation for raiding, but this hoard told a much deeper story. Gold and silver glinted under the archaeologists' tools, but the true mystery lay in the objects themselves. Intricate coins from distant lands, weapons forged with deadly precision, and unusual artifacts, each one telling a story of ambition, survival, and ritual. The coins were not simply currency, they were symbols. Symbols of power, symbols of conquest. Some appeared to come from the Roman Empire, others from faraway Eastern kingdoms. These were not just items meant to be spent. They were tokens of the Viking ambition to control, to dominate, and to connect with the broader world. But among the wealth, there were signs of something darker, weapons that seemed to be more than tools of war, almost ceremonial in nature. Were they buried for protection or for something far more dangerous? The Vikings may have been brutal conquerors, but this hoard hinted at something far more complex. Each artifact felt like a puzzle piece, but the picture was still incomplete. What drove them to bury these treasures? What was so dangerous that they needed to be hidden for centuries? As the hoard came to light, something became glaringly clear. The Vikings left more than riches behind. They left clues, symbols, and messages that had been buried for over 1,000 years. What they had hidden was more than just gold. It was their legacy, their beliefs, and perhaps even their fears. Coins weren't just minted for trade, they were stamped with runes, intricate carvings that told stories of gods, battles, and mythological legends. These were not just artifacts, they were messages. The Vikings weren't just storing wealth, they were leaving behind a roadmap to their world, one that could only be decoded by those brave enough to seek the truth. But it wasn't just the runes that told the story. Weapons, like intricately crafted swords, were found buried next to symbols of the gods. The significance wasn't lost. Were these meant to be offerings? or perhaps protection for those who would pass into the afterlife. The Vikings didn't see death as an end, but as a new beginning, a continuation of their struggle, their ambition, and their conquest. What did these symbols represent? Were they messages from beyond the grave, or were they a warning? Each piece of the hoard raised more questions than answers, drawing us deeper into a mystery we couldn't escape. The Vikings were not just fierce warriors. They were deeply spiritual, bound by rituals that governed their lives and their deaths. Their hoards, buried in carefully chosen locations, spoke of a belief system that was far more complex than their reputation as brutal raiders. The treasure uncovered was not meant simply to be hoarded. Some of it, it seems, was meant to be buried for the dead, to protect the soul in the afterlife. It's a chilling thought this treasure wasn't just a collection of items, it was a ritual, an offering to the gods, or perhaps even a shield against a fear far greater than death itself. Weapons, coins, and trinkets were often placed in graves alongside the deceased. But this hoard was not just any burial treasure. The choice of what was buried with the dead revealed a deeper, darker truth about the Vikings. Their lives were not only about conquest on Earth, but about preparing for something far more dangerous, the journey to the afterlife. These were not just valuables, they were protections, sacrifices, and pledges. What were the Vikings truly afraid of? What were they willing to risk everything to protect? It wasn't just treasure they buried, was their faith, their rituals, and their understanding of life beyond death. As the treasure was carefully unearthed, a creeping sense of dread settled in. This was no simple find. The deeper the archaeologists dug, the more unsettling the discoveries became. The hoard wasn't just hidden, it was sealed. The Vikings' reputation for fearlessness was legendary, but it was clear now that they feared something beyond their enemies, beyond the raids and battles. This hoard was buried with a purpose, locked away to protect something from being discovered. Each piece of treasure, each weapon, each coin felt more like a warning than a simple offering. What had they left behind? What had they feared so much that they sealed it all away? The deeper the artifacts were buried, the darker the questions became. Some of the objects seemed more than just ceremonial. They looked like they were meant to protect something far more dangerous. The inscriptions on the coins hinted at powers beyond this world, ancient symbols of gods and forces long forgotten. But why hide them? Why not let them be known? The Vikings were not just protecting their wealth, they were protecting something else, a secret, something that could change everything. And the danger. It's still out there, buried, waiting to be unearthed. The hoard may have been uncovered, but its true story is far from over. What the archaeologists found was only a fragment of the world the Vikings left behind. This treasure wasn't just about gold. It was about power, belief, and something far more mysterious, something that transcended their life and death. The Vikings were more than ruthless warriors. They were thinkers, creators, and, above all, survivors. Their legacy is far greater than what was plundered in raids or pillaged from distant shores. Their true legacy lies in these hoard treasures that hold not just wealth, but an understanding of their world, their gods, and their deepest fears. The Vikings feared what lay beyond the grave, but they also feared losing the power they had worked so hard to build. This hoard was a testament to their ambition, to their belief in their immortality, and to the dangerous forces they believed could undo everything they had fought for. As we study these treasures, we uncover more than just artifacts. We uncover a people who understood that history, ambition, and fear were intertwined. The Vikings didn't just want to conquer, they wanted to leave behind something that would last forever. Their legacy, their story, their truth, and now their secrets are ours to unravel. The hoard has been unearthed, but the real story is just beginning. Beneath the soil lies a truth that spans centuries, a glimpse into the soul of a civilization that feared nothing except what lay beyond the grave. The Vikings left us more than treasure. They left us their beliefs, their fears, and the undeniable fact that history is never as it seems. They didn't just conquer the world, they sought to protect something darker, something that we may never fully understand. But one thing is certain. Their legacy isn't just buried in the past. It's alive, hidden in the artifacts, the symbols, and the very earth they left behind. The secrets of the Viking Age are still out there, waiting for the brave and the foolish to uncover them. What we've found is only the beginning. What remains buried could change everything. And as long as these secrets stay hidden, the Vikings will never truly be gone.